Hi, Sarah here, and you are going to watch a bath of a Burmese cat at Aristocat's Feline Day Spa in Brisbane, Queensland. This is Shotzi. She is a European Burmese and she is very used to having a bath. She's very used to having a bath because she's my cat. She's currently growing out a lion trim. She has a bolero clip. And you will be able to see the discoloration. It's a little bit darker on her back half compared to her front half, but it is growing back quite nicely. As I said, she's very used to being bathed. She gets a bath once every week or so, just to keep her nice and clean. And you will notice she is also wearing a full set of soft paws. She will vocalize the entire groom. This is normal for Shotzi, and it's normal for her in her everyday life, not just when she's in the bath. She's not distressed, it's just a Burmese thing. What you'll see here is an exfoliating glove, and inside that exfoliating glove is a small sliver of a chub spa. I don't currently have a chubby saver at the moment, but I do put those tiny little slivers of chubs into my exfoliating glove, just in my palm. And as you'll be able to see, for this entire first wash, we don't need to add any additional shampoo whatsoever. That small amount of chub spa in my palm is enough to keep a beautiful rich lather all over Shotzi. So right now I am just massaging her feet, and I am getting her toes and her toenails nice and clean. As I said, she is wearing soft paws, so I did clean her nails before I put those on, just before the bath. It is very important when you are doing soft paws to make sure that the nails are clean, and this is so that you're not putting the glue onto the toe gunk, but onto the actual nail itself. If you're gluing onto something that's just going to come off, the nails will come off really very quickly. I'm not paying too much attention to those feet just for that reason, but I do want to make sure that, one, she is used to having her feet cleaned in the bath, because we do that every now and then with her nails off, and two, because the rest of her feet are dirty and I want to get her clean all over. I'm going to draw your attention to the amount of bubbles and soap that I am getting out of that tiny amount of chub spa. I know that I didn't show at the beginning of the demonstration how much was there, but there's really not very much at all. You don't need an awful lot of soap. Bubbles will help to disperse the soap around the cat. It'll help to get it right down to the skin. And by using more air and water than product, you are actually going to get a really, really good clean. I find that the thicker the shampoo is and the less aerated it is, the harder it is to get every single hair separated and clean, and also the harder it is to rinse out. It does take a lot longer to rinse a cat that doesn't have a lot of bubbles compared to one that does. I am a big fan of bubbles. Now Shotzi is wandering around the tub. I have a mini Forever stainless tub, so it's not exceptionally big, but I do allow cats to wander around it and move around it. I move them if I need to, but they're not tied up at all. I'm making sure that her head is nice and clean. This is because it gets lots of kisses and I don't want to get sick if she's germy. But as a basic rule of thumb, usually when a client is picking up their cat after they've been groomed, the first thing that they will smell is the cat's head and face. Lots of cats, especially cats that frequent grooming salons quite often, do get kissed, do get pampered, do get scratches on the head. You want to make sure that the top of the head is very clean. At the beginning of the video, I also scrubbed underneath her chin with the exfoliating glove. This is to remove any dirt or bacteria from underneath the chin that may cause chin acne. Shotzi is very lucky in that she's never had chin acne since she's been with me, but we want to keep that nice and clean as well. Just rinsing off now this first wash. I did rinse the bubbles off the glove just so that when we're putting more suds and more shampoo on her, it's not dirty shampoo. So once again, lathering her up. I do have a small container of water. That's just plain water straight from the hose that's at the back of the bath there. This is so that I can put the glove in the water, so my whole gloved hand in the water, if I need to add any more, just in case the shampoo is getting a little bit thick and I need to add more water rather than hosing her down again. As you can see, there's plenty of bubbles, plenty of lather. We want to make sure that we're paying particular attention to the tail, and this is just because the majority of cats at some point in their life will experience stud tail, or at the very least a build-up of grease and dirt on it, and we want to prevent that from causing blackheads or any skin irritation. As you can see, we do have a little bit of soap there on Shotzi's face. Because this soap is quite heavily diluted, it's not that big of an issue. As far as I am aware, there are currently no clarifying shampoos that are tearless. So if you do happen to get soap on the eyes or around the eye area, it is a good idea to wipe it off as quickly as possible. But in my experience, Chubb's bars, when they're diluted and it's bubbles like that, it is quite low irritating, so long as you are wiping it quite quickly. We do want to get the face clean, and Chubb's bars is typically safe for doing that. You just don't want to be spending an awful lot of time right around the eyes. As you can see, she is coping really very well with her bath and is quite enjoying that massage. One of my personal pet peeves is watching groomers pat a cat with shampoo. This is not the same as scrubbing them or washing them. As you can see, Shotzi is not going to dissolve in the water, and she's not going to show any signs of distress with being firmly scrubbed. She actually quite enjoys it, and most cats are the same. Patting with soap doesn't do very much other than annoying the cat. If you're going to have them in the bath, then you want to be doing a thorough job of the job that you're there to do, and that is getting them clean. A lot of groomers won't typically see short-coated cats within their salon. This is mostly because any short-coated cat owner would typically believe that their cat takes care of themselves. Now, as we mentioned in my seminar earlier in the week, this is definitely a theory of problem solving versus problem preventing. And that is essentially that a cat will take care of itself until it doesn't. Then when we have a problem, we seek out a groomer to fix it. When short-coated cats come in for grooming, typically the only grooming that they have done is a bath, a blow dry, their nails cleaned, their ears cleaned, their nails trimmed, and cleaned up around the eyes and face. This is typically the only grooming that they have, and very few will actually have any clipping like a lion trim. I do say typically because there are some cats like Shotzi who do get a lion trim. She mostly gets one so that my students can practice, and she's an exceptionally compliant cat, but it does cut down on the shedding and the amount of maintenance grooming that I do have to do, so it does have its place. But given that the majority of cats only come in for a bath and a blow dry, and I'm talking short-coated cats, that bath and blow dry really needs to be something spectacular to ensure that this cat is coming in on an adequate basis. For me, in my salon, that's every month to 2 months for a bath and a blow dry. In my opinion, that's what it takes to keep a cat healthy and clean. My cat gets bathed more frequently, and I would love it if my clients did as well, but in a lot of cases that's not practical, so I do accept monthly to bi-monthly is quite adequate. As you saw just then, I was scrubbing Shotzi with a silicone brush. This is to loosen up any of the dead hair that's due to come out and to help with the amount of hair that comes out with the blow dry. I've just washed her face with a damp microfiber cloth. I do this before we do our final rinse, just so that I can rinse off the face and wash away anything that's been loosened up throughout the bath. You will notice that I was constantly wetting and wiping the face, always moving from the back of the head so as not to get any water squirted straight into her ears. We do always want to go behind the ears, and you do want to make sure that you wipe it off quite quickly. Shotzi, as you can probably see, has got some quite deep tear tracks down towards her nose. She is a 17-year-old cat, so these are not unusual for an older cat. It just means that I need to keep on top of cleaning her eyes quite a lot, and doing that in the bath, wiping her with the microfiber cloth is definitely part of our routine. Now we're just rinsing her off. This is the final rinse. You can see how easily and quickly that shampoo is rinsing out of the coat. When we get towards the very end of this groom, I'm going to actually stop talking and let you listen to what the coat sounds like. My motto in my salon has always been degrease, degrease, degrease until you feel the hair release. That is, until you can feel dead coat stuck to your hands as you're washing. Shotzi doesn't have very much dead coat at all because she's bathed so frequently and she belongs to a groomer. Another way to know when to stop grooming, when to stop the bathing, is because you can feel that they are squeaky clean.